Greetings, Dr. Deptula and fellow classmates. My name is Durando Walker, and this is just a PowerPoint presentation that encaptures the leadership interview that Mr. Maitland Brown and I had. So to begin, just with a brief abstract, Maitland actually serves as a credit manager for a billion-dollar fuel company, as well as he served in various leadership capacities over a 13-year span. His scope of expertise actually includes anti-money laundering, organizational training, mentorship, as well as leadership development. And Maitland's ability to actually centralize a leadership development plan significantly helped him to not only assess his strengths, but also his weaknesses over the years, and has actually helped to shape him to become an effective leader today. And so to ensure the success of the interview session, Maitland and I deliberated and organized weekly sessions to actually discuss his leadership journey and the strategic steps taken to actually improve his leadership style. And this interview session actually details the dominant leadership style, as well as model that was most descriptive of Maitland, and it actually derives pertinent lessons that were learned from my leader, and it details some of the specific challenges as well as rewards that he has garnered in his leadership journey. And so the purpose of this presentation is really to analyze the leadership style, behavior, and skills that the leader exhibits, and it actually will discuss the leader's achievements, challenges, failures, and lessons learned through his experience. This presentation actually is geared to accomplish an analysis of the following aspects of the leader's life, which would include the leadership style, the leadership journey, some of the dominant skills that we utilize, some of the challenges as well as accomplishments, and some of the lessons that he has learned. Just a brief description of Maitland. He actually has been designated a subject matter expert with the KYC procedures, and he actually is currently in the final stages of completing his Chief Compliance Officer course. He, moreover, has actually successfully completed the Series 7, and he actually has complemented it with the completion of his MBA with a concentration in finance. One notable thing about Maitland is the fact that he's a lover of language, and he actually believes that communication with others is very important. And so each day, even though it proves a challenge, he continues to work to learn various languages. And so I chose Maitland as my interviewee, as he has assumed not only numerous roles of progressive responsibility within the finance sector, but he actually has numerous awards that actually recognize his commitment and devotion for customer service and customer experience. And in terms of his leadership style, I believe Maitland exhibits predominantly a servant style leadership, whereby he accredits his leadership pattern to be most essential when he actually places himself in the shoes of his followers. In fact, he actually motivates, actually encourages followers to be actually the best version of themselves, and he actually holds them accountable for their work. And so the fact that Maitland has the ability to motivate and actually get the job done actually squarely defines an effective leader, which Dr. Deptula discusses. And one personal observation that I myself have noted was when persons actually were on vacation within a sector, he actually recognized that the work would compile and await their return, and he believes that wasn't an appropriate way to actually engage his staff. And so he made it his own personal mission, his own personal commitment to actually complete the work of his team members in order to relieve their burden. And so he deployed situational leadership model in that particular instance, as well as in other observations that I took note of, whereby he actually utilized the concept of a 10% stretch, whereby he actually met with his staff members bi-weekly to actually ensure his members actually remain engaged and actually felt free to discuss any pertinent issues that they were having. And actually when situations arose and there was an opportunity to actually upskill his members, Maitland actually took hold of each and every opportunity, which I loved. Another quality or leadership style that he demonstrated was that of a transformational leadership, whereby he actually worked to empower his followers and actually ensure they are actually comfortable in their worlds, in their roles. And Maitland actually is currently working diligently along with his team members in the transition from the Solomon system to the NBSL system. And he actually believes that to fortify his team, he actually utilizes the use of a cluster segmentation analysis, whereby he's actually able to capitalize from the feedback reviews, behaviors, and communicate best practices from probing a person with an innocuous question and making it seem as though he requires assistance, or actually proposing a solution and actually discussing it thoroughly to analyze the person's level of understanding before actually leaving them. And so he employs different tactics really to educate his team members and to show up their skill set, which helps to actually maintain a high performing team. And so he deploys team leadership model when he actually educates, he develops team composition, and encourages the promotion of skills and ability. And one specific skill set that he utilized in his leadership endeavors is the social power, the use of social power. With referent power, Maitland actually believes, like the old adage states, that respect and trust is actually earned and definitely not given. And so he therefore actually works along with his team to actually motivate and empower them and actually build trust and respect within them. In terms of expert power, his experience and wealth of knowledge attained over the years has actually helped him to shape or mold future leaders. And in terms of reward power, he actually uses this form of authority, but definitely a lot more scarcely, so as to avoid the punitive effects that could result. In terms of coercive power, he actually doesn't use this form of power at all, because he actually encourages or desires to be more positive and supportive to his followers. And lastly, with legitimate power, he actually functions in the leadership capacity as the credit finance manager. In terms of Maitland's leadership journey, to Maitland, change is inevitable. And so he believes it's important to actually understand it, and it's equally important for him to actually know when to challenge it. And so he appreciates innovation and oftentimes is tasked with identifying challenges that actually come from executing those new initiatives. And so he finds it actually enjoyable to do so, because it actually helps the team and actually relieve some of the burden. And so within his leadership journey, he's had his challenges, and one that was most difficult or delicate task he actually had to come across was the ability to manage how to set things straight with his superiors. And he believes there's a fine line to correct someone who wields so much authority while trying to actually undermine them. So he had to learn the use of tactfulness in order to overcome such challenges. In terms of lessons learned, Maitland learned a very valuable lesson within his leadership journey, which he shared, which is the capability to be trained. And he detailed some of the personal attacks that he had to endure, and how he found it most important to remain calm and actually navigate through those challenges. And so he believed other leaders too could learn a valuable lesson from him on how to actually handle adversity or challenges, and how to actually put those things back into perspective. And so one important lesson that I myself have gleaned from Maitland's leadership journey, as well as what others could take from also, is the ability to develop a constructive thought process, whereby you devise techniques and you actually utilize it not only to improve your own self-image, but also help you to become your best self. As I myself believe, truly, sincerely believe, that in order to become a real, true, genuine leader, one has to be able to empower, motivate, and even remain adaptable and pliable when changes and challenges arise. And so a best practice, which could be helpful, is the importance to make sure to actually listen to what staff is saying, and not just hearing, but actually actively listening. For me, this would personally involve stopping what I'm doing and actually letting my staff speak so I could understand what is being brought to my attention. In fact, as a supervisor, as well as from Maitland's personal experience, I've learned that it's important to ask questions to make sure that I'm actually following what it is that they're asking, and actually making the necessary adjustments as I go through my day-to-day activities with my team. So these are my references here that I've used to devise my presentation.